Okay, fall time. A rash. So I'm going to have to take off this alternator again. Let's see what size this. Remember, some of these nuts and bolts were strange size, so with the 17 we'll get the ratchet going on that. Because the fan belt's a bit too short, so we've two options here. I have another one there, or a slightly narrower one, and that's option two. Option one is if I loosen this, I angle it inwards, I might go on and pull it, but then I don't think I'm going to get enough of I think it'd be too short for that tensioner bracket there, because the gap in it only starts there, so that's probably not going to be ideal. So it's just going to be a matter, I think, of that. It might be a matter actually putting on a shorter alternator tensioner bracket, and I can do that. I have them there. But it does involve taking off the water pump pulley to get the bolt out, like I was mentioning yesterday evening's video. This is a really long bolt, so I think I might just replace this for a shorter bolt, because I probably will have to take it on and off 2 times. So there's loads of them there, so, and it'll tidy it up as well. That's just way longer than is needed. So I think I might go and do that now. I'll have that much done, because I'm probably going to take this on and off a few times. There'll be a bit of messing around with adjustments and all of that. So let's try and get the washer there that's left. There, okay, let's get a shorter bolt. We'll come back and have that much done anyway. There's a better bolt. I'm going to use the lock nut that was already on it, because lock nuts are a good idea with the likes of that. But I do have to go take off this as well, I'd say. I think I might be able to get normal enough stopping on that. I think it's, yeah, the old Imperial 5/8 will do that, even though she's metric. Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to have to do. This is try and nearly take it off, put on the fan belt first, and go from there, hopefully. Dynamo's a little bit better fit on these now, but I can see why people go for alternators. A lot to be said for turning on your ignition, seeing the light light up, the charge light light up, and then it go out and you give it a rev. I have 3 Ferguson tractors and they all have dynamos on them, because I do like to have them more original, but the owner of this just literally wants to be able to enjoy it and doesn't want to be faffing about, wondering is the thing charging and all of that. Just make sure the camera is focusing first. So this is just looking like it's too short fan belt. So I think I'm going to have to find the old one there somewhere and see what's going on. So the old one's here. I just don't know. Is this is that old one? Is it bigger? Mitsubishi. Trying to see length on what sort of length is on the bloody thing. Sometimes they have a length on them there. There's something there, it's kind of painted over. 17965, 17 by 965. And this one here is 20 mil. Can we get a length on it? 985. Set free. So 985. 965. That's what was in the old one. So you'd swear the new one is longer. Because it's wider, it's not sitting as snug down in the V slot, maybe. Maybe that's all it is. Regardless, seems to be a little bit awkward to set up. And I think a lot of it's actually down to this bracket. Well, that's not going to twist in there, like, I don't think, is it? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I will. But I have a feeling, we'll have to take off that water pump honey. But I don't mind doing that if it means that we'll be able to use this, because we do need a new fan belt on this. The other ones you saw there was starting to self-destruct a little bit. Just a little bit, as you can imagine here. Now, these old fan belts, they are fairly stiff, and the wider you go, the stiffer they are. So you have a rare bolt through. So that's that. Where's the nut going off? That there we go, on the ground. So get that just loosely on there. Let's do a bit of work on that if you weren't watching the previous videos. Let's put in a little spacer, a tubular spacer, a good strong one. And we had to, what else do we have to do with it? Put a few old washers, stuff like that on it. This should be fairly neat now, this alternator, and by the time I finish with it, oh just you'd want to have a good back on you. Whoa, right, so try and thread that in. Oh hell. Try and thread that bolt. Might just come in with a bit of a persuasion there. And yes, these fan blades are pain in the arse. Catching my hand on it. Okay, yeah, we are going in. That is the most important thing. The next most important thing is to try and get a bracket on this that is short enough to actually tension this, because it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of space there for tension. Should be able to come up with something. That's slowly going in there. It's a nice neat bolt now, I can tell you, not a big lump of one that was there before. So I'm happier with that. I'll show you there just quickly. That's going to be a lot nicer looking, and this is of course after working out a lot better. So we're winning to a certain point. The problem is this lad in there needs to be somewhere along there. So I don't think that's going to work. It's not the greatest looking there now, and especially when it's going to be so long. And so And I know this is a new belt, so like it will slowly stretch, but I just don't think that's going to go stretching. So I'm going to have a quick look for a shorter alternator bracket, shorter one of these, and if I can find something that'll suit, I'll try and swap it over. The one that I have is this, right? So I'd have to cut it along there. That is one option. Or I take the other fan belt I have, 17mm, and I hope that this 17mm belt will go down in there into all the pulleys further than the 20mm that has. Regardless, I'm going to try and pull that out a little bit with a bar, and we'll just see if I can get that detention out a little bit more. Right, so let's try and take this off, so this belt, try and put on one that's 3mm narrower. This can be a little ball ache to get out past the start. To kind of twist them, and of course being 20mm, or whatever it is, 20mm wide, twisting them can be hard because they're so bloody strong, and then of course you have the front axle pin sticking through a little bit as well. So that's just the challenge. Really stiff. Just to show you what's going on there. What makes it stiff is you have that starter there, starter dog nut for the starting handle, and then you have the center axle pivot pin coming through there. So that's what you're trying to wrestle with. We always win these things in the end, but us men, we like to let our struggles be known to the world. So I'm not complaining though. We got it on. It'll have to come off. My hand's going to go flying and it's going to rip on one of those fan blades. But it's all character building stuff, isn't it? Jesus, that is tight. Of course, from tractor, every tractor is different, and sometimes these little centre pivot axle pins can just stick out a little bit more on one tractor compared to the other. And that's where you have even less space. My Jesus, I tell you one thing, it sure gets a grip on it. So I might just try and help that out. A bit of timber or something that won't damage it. But as bad as it is here, with the radiator and the bonnet off, it's even more fun trying to wrestle with this. And the radiator and bonnet are actually on. That is not budging at all. What is it getting hot on? It's kind of clearing the front axle pin. We have that cleared. It's kind of just bouncing around really more than that now. Yeah, kind of nearly cleared it. I guess we've kind of bundled up a little bit. And it's not, it's not twisting, that's why. Probably should have taken it off the bloody, this lad here first, I'd say. See if he obliges. Might give us a bit more leverage. Now I might move you out of the way because you could end up a gettled, as they say. You could end up flying. Have to be aware that this tractor is on axle stands and jacks and all of that, so by pulling too hard the whole lot could go flying as well. Now we're nearly there, come on. just about. There we go. Wow. The sweats, lads. I'm telling you something. Okay, I suppose the best thing to do is to try and get this on here now as well. You nearly would be tempted to take that bloody fan out of the way. Sorry about that. Right, we'll try this. So, twist. Again, very stiff, but that 3 mil, as you can see there, it goes in a lot handier. 3 mil less wide. Okay, so there we are. We're in. Jeez, I should be dizzy after that. I'm not fit. I'm active, but I'm not fit. Okay, so how is this going to go there? Is that going to go a bit better? I'm just hoping that when it actually goes on, because it's probably the same length, when it goes on it'll sit into all of them pulleys just that little bit more. That'll give us a bit more space there to actually get onto one of these adjusters. Now this is really bad, it's all angle grinded out, like, and cut and everything, so I'm hoping, at least hoping, I might be able to just improve it. We will. The only other option after this is just to get a longer fan belt, and that's not impossible either. Just go into your fan belt shop. There's one in town, and give them specs and just ask them for a couple of inches longer. They nearly know themselves. A picture of it. That's what you get though. Start trying to fit likes of alternators on the opposite. Sometimes, you know, you will run into the odd little issue. These on very, very lightly, just to get an idea where we are going to be. Is it going to be any better? Are we going to be able to? No, I don't think so. Don't think so. Everything is lined up. I'm turning the engine there a little bit. So, you know, so. Right, let me see, where's this other adjuster here? I just want to see there now if we're going to be anywhere with this. Probably would get somewhere with that. We did a little cut job on it there. Only problem being it could keep sliding inwards. It needs a hole. Let's have to drill a hole, cut there, fit. That would work. That would work. And we've a nice neat lad here with a better slot. Good and strong. I had an even short one, but I fitted it to a massive Ferguson 168 I was working on. I think we're going to stop talking now and just make that happen, I think. Wouldn't that be the best way forward? I think we're just going to modify this. As they say in America, quit your hollering. Quit your hollering. I'm going to put a small extension on this because I usually end up just cutting the bloody hands off myself. Okay. Should be washers on these. You know, they're not the kind of bolt that you want getting loose like. And there isn't, so I think someone probably changed the water pump on this, because it doesn't feel bad at all. And of course the bloody fan belt will have to come off this again when you look in there. So. Should be spring washers in every one of these. Right, yeah, someone definitely, because I know when you change water pumps on these, sometimes you actually have to cut some of the bolts shorter. So that's definitely an aftermarket jobby there. Hard to be lucky enough to get that off. No, so off with the fan belt, and the only option is just to move this alternator. So this is a little bit like yesterday evening's video on the throttle rods there, adjusting that main throttle rod, you know. Patience. Patience. Over and back. Take off the part, put it back on, check it, adjust it, put it back on, check it again. If you're right or you're wrong. If you're wrong, off with the part again. You do get there, and it sure is satisfying when you get there. And you should look, you may as well enjoy the journey along the way getting there. Otherwise you're not going to do a good job. This is not my tractor, but I want the owner to be happy with it, and I want to be able to be sure I'm doing the job right for him. Try and treat every tractor that comes in here like it's my own. Ah, fuck. Excuse the language. I'm sore. Very sore. Anyway. Right over the knuckle. Okay. Just thinking there's a few washers go flying. Or is it just one? I'd say a few washers must have went flying, because it seems to be a few missing off. Anyway, that's okay, we can put new ones on. So what am I doing? I am, yes, apart from cursing and swearing, taking off this pulley. That has to come off as well. Yeah, that has to come off as well. Definitely an aftermarket water pump anyway with that modern lock nut, so that's good news in that it doesn't seem to need to be replaced anyway. That's going to need a spray. That they can be fun to get off as well sometimes. It can be fun to get off. So a piece of timber there, I suppose that's the best thing. Might even be able to just... this timber's probably not going to be heavy enough, I'd say. Just want to be careful what I hit it with, that's all. Ah, yeah. Or not to be damaging it, possible. Oh, just that actual washer there. Let's get pliers and give that a pull, that's okay. Well, this is a little bit long-winded, I suppose, but sure, look. It'll hopefully all look and function a good bit better. Okay. So to take out him, 9/16 if I'm not mistaken. And a long socket. And then the modification can begin. I'm still torquing up the cylinder head, I just don't record that. You've seen it earlier on, or even I'm just checking. So that's that. While we're here, we have the 9/16, so I just like to give them water pump nuts and bolts and studs tighten because she could spring a leak, and now that we're putting in a thermostat. Okay. That casting there goes right up to the cylinder head, so that's good. They're all tight. Now we have to work on this lad, so I suppose the first thing we'll do is give him a good clean up, and we're going to have to drill there to take a 9/16 stud. So right, nothing we haven't done before. Should be worthwhile, I'd imagine. Definitely look better, definitely function better. Okay. We'll get out our ever-suffering drill. Ten-year-old Bosch drill. We've had a bit of a clean up so that we're able to center punch and stuff. We can see where the middle is. Okay, so I'd say we'll have to cut literally along that straight bit there. What I'll do is we'll just take a quick look and see what sort of space we have there. So we have a little bit there. We're better off going there. Close enough, I'd say, is what we're going to need to be. Stop her hitting that out. Yeah. Close enough. Yeah, a quarter of an inch away from it, I'd say, probably a quarter of an inch. So I think what we'll do first is we'll cut roughly where we think needs to be. So I'll come back with that cut because I'm just going to use the angle grinder on that now and not be wasting time with a hacksaw. Okay, so mark it roughly there where we need to be with that center punch. There we go. And we can start drilling that baby out the sides. And bring it over to the pillar drill, I think. Lovely, so I'll come back with that drill. That's what we're looking like. Spring washer on this bolt as well, so that's all good. Right. Now, can we get back to fitting the alternator? This only goes on one way. Just put it here, so wide or what like that. So these needed spring washers. Right, I'll just go get the spring washers and come back and we'll get that fit. I noticed one of these bolts is short. That one looks short. That one looks short. Let's bring up our short one there. Yeah, that'll go in there. Okay, just has to match up with that as well. So wide, something like that. It'll be a little bit awkward to try and juggle this. First it has to tap on a little bit more. So I'll do is run in one or two of these bolts, tap it on. Two should be enough, just to keep things lined up as I tap that in. Yeah. Like that. Okay. We need that lad sitting out there so we can match up. So we got wide, something like that, I would say. Okay, now which one's long? That's a short one. That's a longer one. So put them in there. These bottom out, just swap them. And a short, long one, so we can put them on. Some of these all look to be cut, to be honest with you. And a short one. I remember these being a bit longer. Just don't really need to be that long. Okay. Well, I suppose the one advantage of taking this off is, I suppose, at least we found out it needed spring washers. So would it have been an issue? Probably not. But I try to tighten these up and come back when they're done. Long story short, my little bracket that I made wasn't working. So I've made this lad here, there, and it's all on and we're happy, okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that. The one I made was nice and strong and all of that, but it just wasn't playing ball. So I've literally just dropped the rocker shaft down on the cylinder head there. So I want to go now and start bolting this down. So get it lined up there with the push rods. Put them in the little rockers there, and okay, so we're missing one there. Right, two nuts, or three. Spring washers all around. Head's torqued down, thankfully. It's been left long enough that I've managed to check it a few times, so I'm happy that it is definitely at the right torque. 108 Newton meters of torque. It's about 80 foot-pounds. 80's kind of like the most you'd be needing to do it, like, so. Just consider I'm putting in a thermostat. We want to be nice and sure that it's nice and snug there. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I'm just tighten these down nice and even, and make sure that we're not. As I'm tightening these down, some valves will kind of want to be pushed down, so we just take care of that. We take our time because it does kind of put pressure on the rocker shaft and it can bend slightly, so I just tighten them up nice and easy. Just like I feel it's starting to pull it down a little bit, and I go on to the next one then. Just like that. And I'll take off that rocker cover gasket and a new one there. So that's okay. That one's okay. I think it's cylinder number 4. I think it's cylinder 4 that's actually pushing valves down, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure all them rockers are in. All the push rods are in, I should say. Yeah, they are. Give them a twist. That's okay. That's starting to bite there now. Yeah, pushing down valves there. So that's good. If you see there, each one of these now is only taking nearly the same amount to tighten it up. So it's been tightened down evenly. So you're not going bending it. Some people absolutely swing out of these. I mean, there's a spring washer on it. You don't have to be swinging out. There's no fun when they shear. I've never sheared one, thankfully. That to me now is about as good as you need. Decompression there is okay. So that's not going to be in the way for putting it back. Okay, I'm just going to take this off here if I can, because I'm going to have to do a bit of valve clearance on it. My God, I can tell you what, probably been a while since these were off. Oh yeah, we have to do a bit of work on them. That's going to have to come off anyway for Jesus, that doesn't look great. It looks very loose. That wasn't tight. Whatever the hell is going on with that? They're going to have to come off because I have to see what plunger's going up, so I'm going to know which cylinder to adjust the valve clearance on. So yeah, I'll do a bit of pricking with that now and hopefully get them loosened off. So I was cleaning back with the drill. I plan on polishing this up with the drill anyway. Yeah. Don't think we're going to have much choice in the matter anyway. So we'll have to go breaking that gasket seal there to take off the cover. Yes, there's no need for these to be so tight. I don't want to be putting punches into the roller. No, she's happy where she is. So I think I'd have to go and look for a bigger screwdriver and try and tap it in and hopefully get it loosened. Okay, I've tried it with a bigger one. Got one loosened there, so I would hope the second one will go as well. The second one doesn't feel great at all. It's like this, maybe it's just painting, is it? Yeah, it's just a bit of paint. Hopefully now we'll get a better grip of it. The old tap and turn might work. I think it could be working there now. Just turned a little bit anyway. Yeah. Thanks be to God. We're very lucky with this pump actually. These are nearly the hardest, but they're the most accessible. Hardest to take off, just it. Okay. There we go. Lovely stuff. Oh, sure, I'll get a torch and have a look in there and make sure it's looking like it's meant to. Should be able to see then at the starting handle in. I have the decompression on. She's on in the on position, so she's going to decompress it. Okay, no broken springs anyway, that's good. I'm very happy to see that. A little bit of dirt in there, we'll just try and work that out of it, maybe get the workshop vacuum. We'll get all that out, paint off I think. It'll look a lot better when it's polished up a little bit, being aluminium, you know. It's not nice. Okay, so at the moment we're on 3 is starting to inject. Okay, 1, 3, 4, and then 2. So that's our firing order: 1, 3, 4, 2. So number 3, based on that, number 3 should be ready to adjust. Try and get you in here a little bit. Yeah. Okay, we'll get a feel. I can take off the valve decompressor there actually, because we can work straight away on that. Let's see which one's off. That's off. There we go. That's off because it's loose. We were saying 3. It's not too bad. Exhaust and inlet. So inlet should be less, exhaust a bit more. Okay, so I suppose the best thing to do is just to get the feeler gauges and have a little feel of that, and we'll see then. I'd say the valve clearance is fairly good on this now, in fairness, but we'll just check. Okay, valve clearance is meant to be 12 thou, according to the rocket cover there. Here's a 12 thou. That's just nice and snug there, and so is that. Just nice, really nice. So I thought, alright, the valve clearance felt good on it there now, so that's our decompressor on there, make it easier to turn. So 1, 3, 4, so I might just lower you down here and you might see these old plungers moving. And then again you might not. Just try and zoom her in, try and just... Okay, so the next one to plunge is number 4. He's starting to lift there, so we'll just turn him over there a little bit. And we can hear him there, that's him plunging. So at that point, what I do is I go to number 4. Go to number 4. Take off our decompressor. Which way is it? Oh no. There we go. Okay, how we feel? Okay, slightly. Well, that's perfect, lovely. That's just nice. I like that. And then this one here. Jesus, someone's after doing a lovely job on this. They're making my life easier. Okay, it's nice when things nice when things are working out. So 1, 3, 4, and then we got 2. So we'll just lift you down here. You might see them moving. It's a bit dark there now, but look, we'll 1, 3, 4, and 2. There we go. That's coming up to the top there. So that's grand. Move on to number 2. Take off the decompressor. and we should be good to have a feel of that. But I did think, alright, these did all feel very good. So off our decompressor lever. There we go. That's loose. So number 2. They both sound good. A little bit loose. A little bit loose, being honest. Okay, so out with our 1/2 inch spanner and flathead screwdriver, what we need. Half inch spanner over here actually. Right, so number 1342. It's my short 1/2 inch. There we go. Lovely. Okay, and a small enough flathead will do. So, in there. Sit down there. Loosen the nut. Tighten it around. It's only going to be a minute amount. There, feels it's right about me, right to me. Nip them up with this. Try and keep this and turn it. Okay, we can go a little bit more, so let's let the screwdriver turn now. Lovely, that's all we want to see. This one now as well. Hold the flathead slot, loosen them back, tighten them in. 12 tau. Feel again. That's it. Simple as that. Then your screwdriver, try and hold it where it is while you're tightening. That's not really getting a good grip, and I could do it with my other 1/2 inch spanner now, being honest. It's just too thick. So the other one's gone walking, I think, somewhere. I'll have a look for my 1/2 inch and we'll come back and we'll just give them a little nip. Okay, I've set up the work lamp just for this last cylinder. 1, 3, 4, 2. So 1, 3, 4, 2. So now we're expecting 2 to go down and then 1 to start going up. There we go. 1's coming up. There's the little click you can hear. So that's, hopefully you saw that. I'm not sure I was obviously turning over the engine, but we can check 1 now. And so that last one there, tighten up nice. What I'm going to do when I finish this is do a full 1, 3, 4, 2 again. Let's just check it and see. So off with the decompressor there. There we go. Make sure that's loose. And turn it in your hands. Okay. It's too much on that. Way too much on that. So that's okay. To be honest with you, you can actually see it's threaded down too far. So, and this one here, the exhaust. Yeah, it's too much on that as well. Okay, that's not too bad. All it takes is one of them to make a bit of racket, but that one, you can see it visibly threaded up a little bit there. So Stick in our 12 there, give her a little turn. About there, we'll double check it now again. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. B-E-A, beautiful. Yeah, it's nice work. Best job I ever had. So with the flathead. No more of this messing on modern cars now anyway. Let's loosen off that lock nut a bit, she's tightening up again. Right, limit our feeler gauge. I'd be happy about there. Nip her up. Yeah. Lovely. That's just the slightest bit loose, so what I do is tighten it up without putting the screwdriver holding it from turning, and you just get that little bit more of that grip on it. That is the feeling you want to get from your feeler gauge. Okay, so that is good. So what I'm just going to do one more time is just run this engine around 1342 and double check all that, but I'm not going to go boring you with that. And I'll come back. I've cleaned off this surface here, so just a degreaser wipe, bit of Indian head, and a new rocker cover gasket, and we should be ready to run. Okay, I'll come back when I've that much done. Okay, ran through the whole lot again, 1342. Every now and again, you know, you just get the feel of it. Look, you can test that one, you can test that one, you skip that one. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, skip, 1, 2, skip, 1, 2, 3, skip, test, skip, and test. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with them, they're all good. So now the next thing is to get the Indian head on. And it's no harm then, just when I get this on, it's just to run over them forward, make sure they're tight. I'm pretty sure they are, and there's lock nuts left on them there, but I scrape this and use the workshop vacuum as well, the Hoover there as well, and it's scraping it. It's brilliant. Just picks up any of the stuff that wants to come off. So on this, so I'm just going to try and spread it over. I way prefer to see Indian head squeezed out than oil. Use this stuff then, and you take it off your rock cover again, and you'll find your gasket won't be tearing and ripping and all that. Doesn't affect the oil, doesn't affect fuel, doesn't affect water. You can use it on rad and hose pipes there as well, water cooling pipes as well. Hoovered all around the top cylinder head as well, so I'm not picking up dirt with this brush. And workshop wet dry vacs do a great job. Don't have to be too fussy now, they'll suck up fierce dirt now. And the filtering them is a good heavy duty job. Okay. I like to put plenty in the corners here, because sometimes just the gasket and sometimes struggle to go out to the four corners. It can just be a little bit from storage and stuff like that. Be a little bit awkward. Plenty in the corners there. Okay, see what we can do. The gaskets. See if we can, if it doesn't stay fairly still here, I'll actually put it on the rocker cover itself. It's just I do prefer to have it sitting on the head first, because then as I'm lowering down the rocker cover onto it, I can see that everything is staying put, whereas in the bottom of the rocker cover I can't see if it's nice and square, whereas in this you can kind of stretch it up there into the corners and make sure it's, so that's, there's always something nice about a nice fresh rocker cover gasket, and you can just put your fingers both sides there and just try and tease her out there to where she's meant to be. It's any wonder the wife doesn't come into the shed and she hears things I'll be saying. Teasing rocker cover gaskets, huh? That's nice, and I'm happy with that. So all I have to do now is just do a little bit of tidying up on the rocker cover itself. This 9/16, I'll just give these a final little nips to make sure everything's good. And then I look in the rocker cover and I just see what way the key is, what angle it's at, has to fit in there. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, no point going overkill on this. Okay, so just this kind of goes off a little bit, this Indian head, a little bit. So just nicely centered whole way around. And we can let our rock cover down that nice and easy. So that's lovely. I get the rock cover now and start tidying that up, and hopefully I think we're ready to button that up. It's starting to look a bit more like an engine then. Right, so I kind of quickly put this on because I realised that I had the Indian head was going off slightly. I put on copper washers, you can probably just see them there, because I find that they'll stop moisture going in and all that. So that's just another little helping hand, because this rocker cover inside was actually very clean. There's no moisture and stuff there. You know, you can normally see a bit of kind of white kind of stuff hanging around the top of it there. There was no copper washers at all on two of these. So no, actually no washers at all. Never mind copper washers. So that's grand. You don't want to go too much. It is only aluminium at the end of the day. That's it. Just want to give it just a little nipping. That's all, because you can bend them. That's okay. Make sure that they're. This one was cut short, this stud, for whatever reason. Lovely. I probably should have cleaned the outside of this before I put it on, but now it's sealed up. It'll be grand. I'll clean it up when I put on that. That'll just take a little quick degreaser wipe for that breather. Okay. I'm happy enough with that. The compressor there as well is back in where it's meant to be. That's what we want. That's it on there, and that's it off. Halfway, and then there's a full lock as well, so we leave that off there. That actually wasn't hitched up at all. Okay. So make sure that that middle one there is, you know, is tight, because some of them are a little bit tight on the studs because of that's especially that one, the threads were kind of, it was cut short. So I just want to make sure it's getting, you know, the last thing you want is it to be loose, like as much as it's tight on the threads, it could be still not pulling down the rocker cover enough. But no, I'm happy enough with that. So I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Come back tomorrow and we'll do work on the thermostat housing, and we'll take off the U-bend and do a bit of cleaning up of that. Realised afterwards, just to get it to actually fit in the silencer. Every side, that silencer's not the best, to be honest with you. Probably does need to be replaced, but I'll try to make it work. And yeah, we're getting a little bit closer to, I don't want to say starting it up, I still have to take off the diesel pump yet, but anyway, my filters have arrived for the rear of the pump. So we'll leave it there for this evening, and we'll pick up from this